Hi everyone, it's Jan here, and I was recently dismantling an old computer to take some of the parts from it, and I found this core, this AMD K5, and as you can see, the thermal paste job was, yeah, it was kind of a mess. So what you want to do when you have a processor like this is you're going to come to your sink over here, you're going to turn on the water, and you're just going to rub all that paste off. And make sure you get the back as well, because the back is really important, you know? You just gotta make sure you get all the way there and just clean it properly. You know, the problem is very often people, when they do this step, they forget to clean the back as well as the front. That's why we're using our sponge here, our brush, so we can get into all the different spots. And yeah, just 5 more minutes of this and we should be good as new. Okay guys, so as you can see, we're back and almost all of the thermal paste has been removed from the processor. It's looking good as new, should be as fast as the new i9, but just in case, oh, that's fine. You're just going to want to give it one last rinse. Make sure you get all the dust out, all the hairs from when you were using your brush. And yeah, don't worry if you bend one of these pins when you're doing the clean, because they're not important. So yeah, hope you like this tutorial. Like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay guys, so if you were following our last tutorial, you know that we managed to clean out this AMD processor. It was completely covered in thermal paste, but we took our brushes and we took our water and we sorted it right out. So what I wanted to do now was show all of you how to reinstall it into your motherboard. So what we need to do is, if we can just bring this over here, you'll see that we have the slot for this processor to go in. So what's important is that you line up. If you look at the processor, one of the corners, that one right there, is not completely 90 degrees. It has like a little cutout. So if you look over here, we're gonna have to line it up just kind of like that. And you know, you might not want to go in immediately. You might need to stay playing around with it a bit, but yeah, if you press it in hard enough, it should stay. And even if it doesn't want to stay, just sort of close that latch and hope it stays on. And yeah, that seems like a pretty good installation to me. Remember to smash like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next tech tip video. Guys, so in the last video, after cleaning our processor and then reinstalling it into the computer, the next step would normally be to place the fan back on the processor to protect it. But if you can see, the fan is absolutely disgusting and completely filled with thermal paste, which by the way is useless. Okay, doesn't really help. It's just paste. So we are not gonna put this fan back on because we can't wash it, because it's connected to our power supply, which I don't really want to get electrocuted by this. So yeah, I'm probably just gonna, you know, remove it, but we shall see what will happen. But what you want to do is you want to get your power supply up here so that you can start connecting all your other components. You know, they go like over here, over there. But before we do that, we actually need to check on the RAM. So if you can see, I previously installed the RAM before starting, but some of you might not know how to do that, so I will demonstrate. Okay guys, you should be able to see a little bit better now, and as you can see, we have our RAM stick right here. So what you're gonna want to do is, you see this plastic, this metal like little thingy here, you're gonna want to pull it, and then you're gonna want to just like sort of snap your RAM out, and it'll come right out. As you can see, it's very flexible, so feel free to completely bend your RAM. There is no issue there. It was built to withstand this kind of thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and reinstall mine to show you all how to do that really quickly. What you want to do is you want to take your flat side, if you have this kind of RAM, and you're just gonna sort of crunch it into place. You might need to pull back on the tab a little bit, and you're just gonna sort of push it so it goes in. See, the RAM is installed perfectly fine. Yeah, so that was the previous video. We are gonna go on to putting back our components inside the computer. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab this is a floppy disk reader, I believe, and you're just gonna put it in there. Don't worry about what fell, definitely wasn't the RAM. And as you can see, it's very good, very fastened, very secure. So you're gonna do the same thing for your disk drive. If you look at your disk drive, but before we go ahead with the disk drive, we're gonna need to grab our front case over here. Now, as you can see, the front case has a bunch of wires. They're kind of useless. You don't need them. Nothing to worry about. But as you can see, we have this big ass slot over here. Now, what this is for the disk drive, and the problem is the disk drive goes in from behind. So a very important step is to place the cover kind of like this, and just, you know, well, fuck, that was meant to happen. So as you can see, the installation has gone successfully, because that flap will only come off if there is something to push it off, like the disk drive, which we have successfully installed. Now, if you just so as you can see, this drive is successfully installed, and there is nothing missing. What I did realize is we have to do the same thing with the HDD. Oh, the HDD is not here. I mean the floppy disk reader. So we're gonna take this and we're just gonna sort of force it in, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like when it's being reinstalled. So as you can see, everything's been fastened securely. Nothing's been lost in the process of this, and as I said, these wires aren't really important, so even if you just want to kind of snip them so they get out of the way, that's pretty good as well. And yeah, I hope this video showed you how to reinstall your modules. We will be doing the power supply next, so remember to smash like, subscribe, and we will be back in the next video. Okay guys, so as you saw in the last video, we reinstalled our cover. We reinstalled our cover. You can see it's right here on the computer, and we're gonna be doing the power supply next. Now, if you can have a look, the power supply is really dusty. It's really not gonna be good if you put this baby in your computer, but we cannot wash it like we did with our processor, because as you know, power supplies produce electricity, and if they go in the water, you will die. You just will. There's no other way. So what you want to do is you want to get your fan like this, and you want to sort of just, you know, it doesn't really matter if any of these wires get tangled, but you just want to sort of blow out all the dust, maybe shake it a bit. There's nothing that can go loose in there, it's fine. And like we said earlier, we're not going to be using this disgusting fan, so I'm just going to snip the wire really quickly, and yeah, we can move on once that's gone completely. So let's see here. It's completely disgusting wire, trying to ruin the beautiful job we did on our CPU. So let's get our power supply and sort of, yeah, just get that in there. So the important thing is that the wires are actually on the inside, so they can connect. So you're just gonna just sort of like push everything inside. This, you see this one on the wrong side, you're gonna make sure it goes in on the left, on the right side. So once that's all in, that's all dandy and neat, you need to start connecting your wires, which we will be tackling in the next tutorial. So don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Guys, so if you were following the last video, you knew that in this one that we'd be covering how to connect your cables to your handy dandy power supply right over here. So what you want to do is you want to grab the end first that goes into your module. Over here we have our disk drive. So one important thing to note is sometimes they have these like clips on the side that you have to press if you want to slide this into its connector. Well, I broke one off, but it doesn't really matter. So if you break one, don't sweat it. So we're just gonna go here and sort of like try to shimmy that in right over there. So let's see. So as you can see, we were extremely successful. Oh wait, sorry, that's still a bit loose, that's embarrassing. Ah, perfect. Okay, so now that that's all well and done, we need to take our other end. Now this other end is gonna connect to the power supply. What you want to do is you want to go to your power supply and you want to try and connect this sort of, you need to get it inside that black hole next to all the others. So you're just sort of gonna try and push it in. Now if it doesn't want to go in, there's another very simple solution. So you remember when we cut our disgusting fan and we ended up with this cable bit? So what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to take your pliers and you want to cut this bit here. So if we cut this bit here, we're gonna do a bit of computing magic right now, guys. So I'm just gonna snap this wire off really easily, and after we've done this, you'll see that we have now 2 wire heads. So we're just gonna go ahead and sort of grab them and connect, you know. So you could just use normal duct tape for this, you can just use super glue, but what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna press really hard, and that way the electromagnetic fields will realize that these two have to communicate with each other. So even now when they're loose, they're still transmitting, which is, like I told you, it was going to be computer magic. So anyway, that's how you do your cables. Smash like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next tutorial. So it's time to put the case back together on this baby. I took the liberty of doing the front panel before this video started, so we just get straight to the point. Now you might notice that, wait, I still have a lot of cables and screws left over. Well, that's a good sign. That means that you managed to save some of these things. So now not only is everything working better than before, but you also have spare parts. So I don't really need these right now, so I'm just gonna store them in here with this computer. They can just, you know, if there's not enough space, just rest them on the graphics card. That's absolutely a-okay. It was built to be bent around and have weight put on it, so just make sure you get every screw if you really want to get the most out of this experience. And yeah, just pop them in, you know. They might stick to something magnetic, that's absolutely no issue, won't corrupt anything whatsoever. There's a little screw over here, I almost got away from it. So now that everything is stored inside the computer safely, we're gonna reattach our cover. So if you just if you just give me a second, I will shift perspective and you will see this cover being installed. Now, one thing I wanted to mention before I put on the cover is that you might notice you still have some cables dangling from your power supply. Now, once again, this is a very good sign. You're going to be more power efficient because you don't have as many things consuming, but you're still getting the exact same result. So not only are you saving money, but now in the future you could have an even beefier PC. So you're just going to want to sort of just get everything inside. And yeah, we can continue with the installation of the cover. Okay guys, so I just slapped the cover on and you can already see that our build is really looking like a 2021 computer. I know it's a whole year ahead of time, but there was a bit of an issue here. There was just a wire that wasn't letting me close it, so I just snapped it. You know, it's not an issue. Like I said, we have so many spare wires. And now all you need is, I hope you left out 4 screws, because we're just going to need to grab our screws and screw the case back in. So yeah, let me just grab all of those, do all of that, and I will show you the finished result. Okay guys, so I've just screwed the back on, and you know what, I only needed to use 2 screws, so we saved another 2 screws. So I just chucked them in here underneath the power supply and everything. They're somewhere down there. And as you can see, we have our beautiful behemoth of a computer. So if you ever wanted a cheap way to get a computer that can run all games at 4K with shaders, I hope this tutorial was able to help you. So for that last time, remember to hit like, smash subscribe, and I'll see you in the next series. Okay guys, so this is a bit of a extra step. It's additional, you don't need to do it, but your computer might be a bit dusty from moving everything around. So if we just grab our vacuum cleaner and we just power that baby on. So just don't know how well you can hear me, but basically what you can do is you can just sort of vacuum that and just try and get in the holes over here and over here, and all the dust should come right out of that baby. So that's the last step. It's bonus, kind of. You don't need to do it, but I highly recommend it if you want to get the 100% experience. Now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you sometime around.